Okay, welcome back. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. This is week number 5 of our distance learning experiment. I hope everyone had a good spring break, restful and relaxing, and I wish you all safety and health during these weird times. Since the last video, the rest of the school year has been canceled, and I just want to acknowledge and recognize that that's really disruptive for everyone, and that's a huge bummer. But I also want to acknowledge that even though we can't meet up in person, we still have a lot of opportunities to interact with each other, still have a lot of opportunities to learn about some really exciting stuff. This is my favorite time of year for a variety of reasons, but one reason is that we get a chance to study what I think is the most exciting, mind-expanding content of the semester, maybe even of the year. Before we jump into the calendar, I want to talk a little bit about how some things might change for us in the format of our course. Most of it's really going to stay the same though. So every Monday you're going to get a video like this explaining to you the weekly calendar. You have work that's assigned on Monday and Wednesday. The calendar is available on my website. A lot of the content that we're going to be working with is linked directly in the calendar. This is pretty much how things have worked all along. If you have any questions, reach out to me directly, or you can post it to the group chat. And then we're going to continue to have our Zoom meetings, although I don't think we're going to use Zoom anymore because of security issues, but that's something that we'll talk about in the group chat. But we'll have a video meeting every Friday at 1 p.m. so that we can talk about the content of the week, address any questions or concerns that anyone has, and then we'll move on from there. Let's jump into the calendar, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do this week. The first thing that you want to do is take a web tour. This is kind of a web slideshow, but it asks you to think about the male gaze in fashion advertising. The reason this is important is because it gets us to think a little bit more about how ideology works, especially ideology as it relates to subjectivity and gender identity. You're going to take that web tour, you're going to be able to summarize your key points. Then what you want to do is use the method. You remember the method from writing analytically? If you don't, you can go back to the website. There's a handout that shows you how to do that. But this is basically stuff like identifying binaries, thinking about strands, repetitions, and binaries, ranking those things, looking at the most important strand, repetition, or binary, and then talking about why you chose that as the most important. And then you can also think about anomalies, things that you notice that don't quite fit in. You're going to use the method to analyze a clip from one Disney film, and we can assign who's going to do which film in the group chat. You're going to post this work that you've done with the method to the Google Doc along with any other relevant thinking related to your clip. So you're basically just kind of making a seems to be about, but it's really about claim based on the method work that you've done. Now, bonus points if you're able to draw on Sarah Ahmed or any of the other, like Anderson and Collins, any of the other intersectionality unit readings that we've engaged here. So that's Monday's work. Now, for Wednesday's class, we're going to be screening clips from a recent documentary film called Misrepresentation, and it has to do with issues of representation of gender in popular culture. You're going to post a response to the Google Doc that uses information from Monday's work, that's like the male gaze and fashion advertising, and also your Disney work. You're basically just putting the sources in conversation in a 300-word response. And of course, your opinion, your response to all of this stuff is really important, so go ahead and include that. And that's the work for Wednesday's class. Now, coming up, we have a lot of really exciting work going on, but I do want to just kind of put this on the radar that next week by Friday night, your Unit 3 essay is due. And we don't really have a lot of additional work during the later half of next week because we just want to allow students to continue writing their Unit 3 essay. So if you have some extra time, or maybe even you need to jump in the game and start writing that Unit 3 essay, this is your official pep talk. Please make sure that you're conscious of that due date. Again, it's Friday of next week, the 24th, April 24th. Okay, so that's it. Again, thank you so much for your continued engagement and flexibility as we work through all of these changes together. I wish you all health and safety. I miss everybody. I'm glad that we are still able to do this even though we can't get together in real life. And I look forward to seeing everybody in our virtual chat at the end of this week. So until then, be good to yourself, be good to everybody else, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.